Good afternoon, everybody. It's about 2:00. Steve is out in
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Oh,
So I'll call the April 2nd meeting of our Highway Public Works Committee together. It's about 2:00 and first, number one on the agenda, number two is motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Madam Clerk, you got that? Yeah. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 4, public comments.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for the March 5th meeting.
Number 3,
I'll second.
motion made and seconded by Supervisor Luke and Doug. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Now, number 4, public comments. Where are we at? We got anybody? I guess not. Nobody upstairs, so we'll just move on from that. Number 5, information of supervisors. That's pretty much up to date. Update on Public Works, number 6. Who's gonna take over on that?
I will.
Okay,
The recycling pre-construction meeting was March 19th with Berghammer and a bunch of their subs. Site work is beginning. The ATV intensive use area will be out for bid for obstacles, parking lot, and fencing. That should be in the papers this week. Some trees were cleared at Clam Falls Dam to relocate the power in the pole with Northwest Electric. So work is proceeding there. CISA roof is proceeding, should be completed in May. CISA HVAC bids are back. We received 1 bid from the 5 contractors that came for the pre-bid meeting. And that was over what we are allotted amount. So we're talking about that internally. I don't know if anyone wants to speak on that or not. We're working with the engineers for the grandstand layout and the pricing and the fair society. Waiting on the weather for the show barn roof to start. And last month I gave an update that the bridge on the Gandy over 270th had been hit twice already this year. 3 times, no damage to the bridge yet. So
very good. Administrator Norby, I don't want to get into your agenda, but as long as he mentioned some things, did you want to comment on anything that he had said, like the Clam Falls Dam or anything that, you want to do that now or?
I can, just the CISA building with the HVAC, which the AC bids coming in, above budget. Our roof came in under budget. Approximately $100,000, $110,000. So we're looking at, utilizing those extra roof funds to cover the cost of the HVAC that's overbid. So you guys are aware of that, with that. Otherwise, the Clam Falls Dam is on schedule, with the clearing, that Rod stated, so.
Is Berghammer the general contractor on the recycle?
Yes,
Are we putting a new roof on the Northwood Tech over here?
yes, we call it that CISA building, yes.
Who's doing that?
That is Jackson. That is the same company that did the roof on the Justice Center as well as the Highway Department when the highway facility was built.
That was all on budget and everything?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you. Good report on that. Did you get everything updated on that, Madam Clerk?
We did.
Okay, thank you. Update on highway, I think your commissioner's gone. Are you filling in on that?
Justin Reese will be filling in our
Oh,
operations
okay.
manager for highway.
Yeah,
just still working on finishing up brushing the mild winter. I mean, lots of time running a bucket truck for a couple months and getting that done. Thursday, we're opening up our RFP bids for construction season. And then we're gonna, set everything in place for that. Bridge inspections are next week. And helping some emergency bridge aids for a couple towns. Spray patching.
And then trying to fit the rest of the salt in buildings that we need to take. So,
Are we getting any new equipment this year? You got bids or anything?
yeah, a truck and a pickup for Josh, and there's a couple other things on there. I'm not quite sure what's on that, but Rod's been working on that, so.
Are we up full scale on workers?
Yep, yeah, we're full staffed. Actually, the last mechanic starts next week, Monday.
Jason Rockel.
Yeah, I was gone on vacation.
He's a neighbor of mine and they just had a baby and I said, you know, you're working the dresser. Have you got any insurance and all that? Is that,
Can we answer your phone?
a good report on that?
That's a question.
Your phone.
Your phone?
What the hell is going on?
We could answer it for you. Not leave it out.
Sorry about that.
Shelley, FaceTime.
That's all right. See who it is. Maybe important.
Okay, number 8, sheriff's report. Sheriff Walk.
Name sheriff.
That's 4 point.
Well, there's a good looking dude.
Where?
Shelley, FaceTime.
I know how to shut that damn thing off.
I do. You wouldn't want.
These windows don't open.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah,
As far as I'm concerned.
Stomp on this for a while. I got mine on too.
You getting up to speed there, chief?
Hopefully.
Thank you. I got just a brief PowerPoint here. I wanted to kind of talk about some of the positives we've had going on lately. Chief Deputy Burrows, Lieutenant Melissa Alexander attended the Wisconsin Jail Association's conference here last month in La Crosse. And one of our corrections officers, Misty Anton, received the Motivator Award on behalf of that state association. And some of the qualities is teamwork, reliability, positivity, consistency, dedication, motivation, and inspiration. And those are all very good descriptors of Misty Anton. So she accepted that award, and I can just tell you, she's one of our staff that is always positive. She's always helping out. At one point I had like half her family employed over there, but they've all left. And I said, you know, I'd take all your family. They're
How
just,
many years has she been with our department?
oh gosh, I think it's close to 10. But anyway, even in dispatch, times of shortage, in her previous job, she dispatched. So she's been willing at times when we've hit staffing crunches to come over and even help out in dispatch. So I think it's great that she was given that award, and it just says a lot about who she is. Next slide. I want to recognize our emergency manager, Lisa McMahon. Just received her certificate at the governor's conference last month down in Lake Geneva on her being a professional certified emergency manager. So that took a lot of training on her part, and she was awarded that certificate for now having that title. So that's a great accomplishment. Another thing I'll mention about Lisa is she is hosting some Skywarn weather spotter classes in April, on April 9th. She's got 3 classes scheduled, and you can access our Facebook page to find out how to register for those Skywarn spotter classes. But very popular, a lot of people registered already to go to that. So that's some of the work that our emergency manager is doing. Next slide. I want to commend Chief Deputy Don Burrows. He received a $43,000 and $280 grant for drug trafficking response. And with that money, what we have earmarked to purchase is some technology for combating drug trafficking, and as well as some safety equipment for the officers that are out there working firsthand in combating drug trafficking. So that was a competitive grant, and Don had to do some very creative writing to get that. So,
Wow, congratulations.
next slide. Future grants, we're working on getting one for peer support. There's a grant out there that we've applied for to get money to enhance our peer support. Peer support's a big thing. You know, as you know, our people are exposed to a lot of critical incidents and there's a lot of stress involved. So we've established peer support and we want to continue to make sure our people are getting the resources they need to combat some of the stress involved in the job. So we've applied for a grant. Hopefully we get that one. And that's a basic slideshow there for you on that, but that's all I have for today.
Sheriff, do we have two drug, dog training,
Yes.
animals?
Yep.
They're both young, working out good?
Very good.
Awesome. Any questions for Sheriff Watt?
Right. Thank you.
For your report and congratulations, Don. And Don, do you have any update on our emergency vehicle at all?
So the command post is going to custom fire on Thursday. So our recommendation is they said it'd be done by June.
That's, custom fire in Osceola.
Yep.
Thanks for the work on that. Administrator Norby, you want to bring us up on your notes?
Sure. Just a couple of things. I want to congratulate Misty, Lisa, and Don on their achievements over the last couple months there. Also, as I reported last month, as sales tax increased up 6% in February. March was also showing another 6.1% increase of $67,000. So it is trending up right now. Hopefully that will maintain through the season. April 11th is National Tornado Awareness Day. Looking at having a drill for the county at that time, preparing for that. We are starting budget season early this year and looking at what is impacting our 2024 budget, our current budget. And one big one is going to be placement costs in CSD for children. So I'll have numbers on that at HHS to see what kind of impact we're looking at for those. So we're planning to see on how we can mitigate that throughout the year. And also we're working with a company called CGI that is going to do 6 videos for us for Polk County, which could be welcome to Polk County, showing our parks and trails and what to do in Polk County and how to come to Polk County, workforce development. Those videos are free for us for Polk County. So we'll be working with that company and give you more updates as we get going on that one throughout the summer here. And also Thursday at noon, there's a potluck at Highway with training. So if the committee members want to come down there and say hi to the highway crew and have a sandwich, you guys are welcome to come down for that also. That's all I have for my report. Thank you.
It isn't particularly on our agenda, but it's legal, I think, under your reports. You want to bring us up to date on the fair a little bit?
Sure. We're working currently with Cedar Corps on placing the grandstand in the current spot. It'll go down from 3,000 seat to about 1,500 seats. Right now, our preliminary estimates just for the aluminum bleachers is a little over $1 million. We do not have engineering costs or any preliminary costs for site work, paths, fencing, closing the grandstand for storage. So we don't have those total budget numbers yet, but we're working with Cedar Corps, which is working with the city of St. Croix Falls to make sure we're in proper location for setbacks. So we should have those numbers shortly. I did forward that information on to the Fair Society, and once we have better budgetary numbers and drawings, we'll get together back with the Fair Society with our committee group to move forward with that.
We have set meetings with the Fair Society now, like monthly or
They're not set monthly. No. They were
Quarterly?
They're quarterly. They were scheduled to be on this agenda to come give you guys updates. They deferred to May to come in for that update.
We do attend their meetings.
Yes, Steve Warrendahl is a representative and he did attend a meeting on last Thursday.
Correct.
Awesome. Thanks for the update on that.
You bet.
Well, thanks for all the information. Any questions for Administrator Norby? Okay, moving on then to, I guess Supervisor Rowdy on our ATV and everything.
Okay, I just have a couple updates. Club said today that they've pretty much finished up out on Sterling to brush the trails. And now they're working with Tony to move and work on the Gandy Dancer, the signs from the county line down to 48 or Luck. And, pardon?
Frederick.
I thought you said 48.
Uh,
I'm
Yeah.
going east out of Luck.
Yeah,
48.
Well, one's going north and one's going east.
yeah. Yeah, we're starting or ending at Frederick on the first.
Cover more territory that way.
And that's what they're updating the signs. That's been, I guess, in our discussions before, but they are getting these signs and putting them up because they all have to be the same size. And Tony has to get all the road crossings and driveways marked so that they can dig and put in signs. So that's just a quick update on what they're working on.
Busy people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Update on CCC number 11.
That's the CJCC. I don't see. Oh, she's
I'm on. I'm on. So for CJCC for March, we had 14 participants and we had one graduate on the first Friday in March. So now we're down to 13. We did not have any terminations. We did have 2 new referrals and we do have another graduation this Friday. Our intoxicated driver intervention program, we didn't have anyone in March. Our first time offender program, we had 1 person complete that and 3 new referrals. And then first time offender at the end of this month will be an in-person program where they do a class and then a tour of the jail. And for substance diversion, we had 4 participants, no new referrals for that. Year to date, we've had 123 pretrial screenings, with 54 of those individuals rating as high risk. So that's 43.9% of our pretrial screenings for new arrestees in the jail are considered high risk. And as of right now, CJCC, our program committee, is working still on family treatment court. And our community engagement program right now is still brainstorming, but we're working with the schools and then law enforcement just about notifying schools when a parent or guardian is arrested, so the schools know to handle that child with care, or they know like maybe after school arrangements for that child will be changing, that sort of thing. So right now they do get notified, but some of the school districts are reporting that it's probably 40% or less of the time that they're getting that proper notification. So just figuring out a better system for that.
Very good report. Any questions or comments? I'd like to make a comment on that. As a supervisor, one question that we get from the public all the time is, what is our rehabilitation for people that go to court and have these problems? And for years as a supervisor, well, we didn't seem to make a lot of progress, but it's, I think it's a reward for your department, your hard work when we see these graduations and we can tell people, about the people that are getting some help that do the things that, we got out there for them to work with. So congratulations. I think our system is making a lot of good progress.
Thank you.
Okay, that's CJCC number 12, update regarding county comprehensive outdoor recreation plan project. And here we are.
I have a handout for you that show you the estimated timeline of the outdoor rec plan. So this is the estimated timeline. The ones that'll actually be working on this will be Tony Novak, Brent Cisco, and Tim Anderson. So they are gonna put together all the parts and pieces on this plan and hopefully have it done, as you can see, by October, November, to be able to bring to the back to the committee for adoption and then discussion at that time, unless you have any discussion now. I don't know if you want him or anybody to speak on actual process here, or
What sort of parameters are you putting around what you're looking at? I mean, are you limiting, is it just like park related thing, obviously outdoor related things, but are there any limitations or parameters initially?
Not really. I mean, we're including like golf courses, tennis courts, outdoor basketball courts, our park facilities, campgrounds, those kind of things. So it's pretty wide open in terms of what's included, at least in the inventory. Obviously,
Pickleball?
yeah, if we have outdoor courts, sure. So yeah, if it's in the county and it's outdoor recreation related, yep, it'll be in here. One of the things that we do try to put is information for the municipalities too, because they have the opportunity to chase grants, just like we will when this plan is updated. By having projects and identification of materials and locations in the plan, it allows for grant applications to be submitted based on what you have in the plan. It's one of the primary reasons that it happens.
and this isn't just encompassing just what the county does. Like Tim said, it's all the municipalities as well.
Kind of takes a look at what all the recreational opportunities in the county are. It helps us from a county perspective to identify where there might be some gaps, whether we're filling the gap or a local municipality is filling the gap. It just helps identify where those needs are, what our facilities are. Works as a nice guiding document for the entire county.
It happens every 5 years and ours is expiring this year, so we need to get it updated so that we can continue moving forward on our outdoor recreation opportunities.
Supervisor Simmons, thanks for the question, and thank you guys for your input. I want to see general discussion, just stay on the agenda as much as we can. But as long as we're having a meeting, we do need comments and general discussion, and I don't want people to walk away and say, oh, I never thought of that, or I don't know about this or that. So thanks for your input. Any questions with the with that? Are we up to number 13, a resolution, discussion, possible action regarding resolution 1724, resolution amending the 2024 staffing plan and budget to add a limited term position investigator. That is the position is the investigator to the district attorney's office. Madam, are you going to speak to that?
I can speak to that. I've sent the resolution over. Basically, I've been working with the administrator, talked to the sheriff about this. What we're asking for is some funding for our office for a part-time investigator to help us bring some of these cases a little bit faster. Not every police contact ends in an arrest that night. There has to be follow-up on someone, particularly in cases like domestic abuse, child abuse, sex assault, that type of thing, where there's a victim involved. A lot of times, for example, in domestic abuse cases, bruises don't appear for several days. And so we need somebody to follow up on that. Right now, the patrol guys, they're stretched to their limits. Those guys are so busy. They're doing a great job, but they're busy on their shifts to have them follow up. Sometimes it takes a while for us to get some of that follow-up information, and we can't make a charging decision until we have enough information to make a case. case. This would kind of help us streamline this, you know, in a criminal justice system. It's, you know, you want that consequence to the crime to happen as soon as possible, just like, you know, when your kid does something wrong and he needs to be punished, like, you know, similar to that. You know, the longer it stretches out, you know, the less effective the system is. So if we can shorten that time up a little bit, make our charging decisions quicker and bring a stronger case into court, then that helps us. That makes sense. Yes, sir.
I think I know the answer, but you've discussed this with the sheriff and I want to, you know, be interesting to know what his observations.
Sure.
is.
Yeah.
So,
I was in support of Jeff.
Yeah, before I brought that, I talked to Brent about this, you know, to let him know how it was, you know.
You got an idea, about-
Certainly wouldn't do it without him.
you got an idea about how many hours a month that,
We're figuring average 2 days a week. I've been using a guy already he's a retired officer from Superior, yeah. And he's been helping us out a lot.
and imagine that time would vary.
It would, yeah. So we figure, you know, average 2 days a week.
I would just point out too that Jeff's office gets cases from all the police departments. And they're at a staffing crisis as well. And sometimes they might go 2-3 days, not even have an officer on.
That is true. Yeah.
So to have somebody in his office that can tidy up some of the loose ends, I think the benefit for everybody.
And
We're all pretty much know that you guys are overwhelmed, and that's why I want to see some discussion and how flexible we are in
Yeah.
getting that answered.
So I know you've got this down as a limited term. Is the idea that this is something that gets reviewed annually and you make an assessment year by year, whether you're going to continue it, or are you looking for somebody? Is this a precursor to somebody that's permanently?
I've got a guy right now who's been working out really well, and if it continues to work out, then I would like to make it like a permanent part-time position.
And that would come through the budget process.
Right,
We've already
yeah.
talked about.
Yep.
But this right here is just through 2024.
Correct, because all
Yeah.
we can do is amend this year's budget.
Right.
So it had to be created this way, but if it's something that the board and the district attorney and law enforcement believe is valuable, then they'll bring that forward to the administrator through an additional funding request through the budget process, and it would be one of the things that he would consider to make recommendations to the board.
That was my point in discussion when we get a comment from the sheriff that we're overwhelmed in some situations here. It looks very much like we're gonna probably in the next year's budget have a full-time request, right?
No, it would remain, talking to the DA, this would remain a part-time position, limited term position, that he needs a couple hours or 20 hours a week or 2 days a week.
2 days a week, yeah.
2 days a week to help expedite cases, not a full-time position.
This is all funded through the county, nothing through the state.
Yes, this is all through the county.
But our district attorney is partly funded from the state, isn't it?
The prosecutors are, myself and the 3 assistant DAs are funded through the state.
Oh, okay.
And,
Thank you.
and victim witness is got partial funding through the state.
Thank you. We need to know some things like that, and then we're better informed as supervisors when we get these questions and answers.
Yeah, anything I can provide, I'm certainly more than happy.
Certainly appreciate that.
So,
Thank you. Any other questions while we're on the hot seat there?
Do we need a motion to move this forward?
Yes.
Motion to move it forward with the recommendation is what the district attorney is asking.
Resolution 1724.
I make a motion that we move resolution 1724 to the full county board with a recommendation of consideration that he approve it
Second that.
unanimously.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Motion carried.
all right, thank you for your time and your consideration.
Well, thank you for your dedication. Number 14, review, update, and work plan.
We'll move the Fair Society into May. for next month, at their request. Other than that, we'll just have, some budget stuff coming up here in May and in June as we start talking about the proposed 2025 budget and, our capital projects, the importance of bonding and what that looks like, short-term, long-term, if the board wishes to go that way. So I'll have, several educational presentations from our PMA and our providers on that to give you guys all the information on what we're looking at for 2025.
I would imagine this grandstand and fair project is gonna be a bonding project.
We'll have to determine that once we know the costs on that and what the cost share would be. But more than likely, it'd be a bonding project.
And I think right now our bond rating and everything is probably about as good as it can get.
Yes. I don't know, Don, you have an update on what our bond rating is?
Last time we had our rating assessed, it was extremely strong, and that process would be renewed in certain situations for borrowing. But there's no reason to believe it would have maintained excellence.
Any questions on bonding or anything else? Especially in county government, bonding is always a tough situation. We need the best bonding rating we can get for fair answer to the taxpayers. I remember when we were about as high as we could get and as bottom as we could get.
It's a very important component to our
Over
budgeting
the-
process over the years.
Over the years, and I congratulate all our administration, especially the last 10 years, to bring our bonding up to a good rating. It means a tremendous dollar effect to our taxpayers. Thank you, thank you. Anything else on work plan, anybody?
No, I just got one other comment before you identify subjects, and I just want to thank CJ for his time on the board. In his 2 years, this is his last meeting, so I just want to thank him for his contributions to the county.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and humbling, so I'm glad to have met all of you and count you among my friends and all the support you've given me, so thank you.
And I want to, just so we have it in the meetings, I want to make a motion of, that we had a Thanksgiving from the board to CJ for his work on our committee. And want to second that, somebody?
Oh, yeah, I can second it, yeah.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you, CJ.
Thanks.
I don't know of anything else then, on a work plan basis, so we're up to number 15, subject matter for the next meeting. I'll just ask you, Administrator Norby, what you wanna put down for,
The fair board was one that you've already.
yeah.
The fair board will be one. You'll have your selections for chair
Election.
and vice chair in May.
Mhm.
And then right now, I don't know of any pending resolutions that are coming towards that committee at this point.
Okay,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
motion by Supervisor Luke and seconded by Supervisor Simone. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next month.